I'm sorry. I did not want to say anything until I was sure. I was on a secret mission by orders of Emperor Cain to monitor Fei. He ordered me to determine whether Fei would be a threat to the world or not. The contact, that is what the Emperor calls Fei.
This is your conclusion?
Yes, Your Majesty. This is the answer that I chose myself.
Anon-nel Bay, you think you can do it?
Yes. Humans have the potential. Managers are no longer needed.
The contact is not our enemy?
Yes. As you say, Your Majesty, if Fei is...
Then I leave it up to you. I atone for my crime by doing so.
Anon-nel Bay, the long-awaited man of God, who will take the peoples born into this world with him to a new horizon. Such is the destiny of the contact. That is what the Emperor called Fei. He did not tell me why he called Fei that, though.
Who the heck is he, then?
He is Fei, but he is also the one who destroyed Elru, caused Kar serious injury, sank the Yggdrasil, killed Rico's subordinates in Kislev, burned our crops and put a plague upon our houses. Need I continue further? He is Id.
What did you say? Id? What do you mean?
He, Fei that is, has dissociative identity disorder.
Fei, you're a Citan, you're a doctor, and you should know that the actual term is dissociative identity disorder, not dissociative identity disorder.
Also known more commonly as multiple personalities. Dissociative identity disorder, or multiple personalities. It is a mental disorder where one person has multiple personalities.
God. That can't be real. It's fucking 9,000 years into the future and you don't know what DID is?
Oh, but it is very real. Fei's living proof of it. I have been watching over Fei, who has a destroyer personality within him named Id.
It's very funny when they try to, like, merge, like, real-life things with their fantasy things.
In the beginning, he was stable. His dissociation did not occur at all while he lived in Lahan for those 3 years. But then, after Lahan was attacked, things changed. Little by little, the number of incidences of his dissociation and their length began to increase. And then at Solaris, a complete manifestation of it occurred.
What brought it about? He was fine when he was in Lahan, right?
My guess is that the appearance of Graf affected Fei somehow. You probably know that Fei worked with Graf as the assassin Id before he was brought to live in Lahan. It was then that the Elru, the hometown of Dominia, was utterly obliterated. Graf was intentionally provoking the manifestation of Id within, for want of a better word, Fei.
For what purpose?
To destroy God. That is what Graf was saying. That is all I know, although there might be more to it. But one thing is certain. Graf was encouraging the manifestation of Id, but did not have adequate control over him.
In other words, it was too much for him to handle.
Yes.
You said that's all you know, although there might be more to it? What did you mean by that?
I shall go on to explain that now. Actually, that is the most important point. There is nothing you can do. You understand well. Just as I expected, Citan, or was it Doc? I have been wanting to meet you, Id. I wanted to talk with you. I guess it is all due to this machine which cuts the nerve connections. Anyway, what is Fei doing as of now?
Fei? Which Fei do you mean?
There is more than one?
Id?
The one you call Fei is asleep. Sleeping?
When I am awake, he sleeps. That is why he has no memory of what I do.
Why does he not know?
It's obvious. He is my subordinate. He cannot peer into my memories. He should not, in actuality, even exist. That man forcibly created his personality. Fei is a tenant in the room of cowardice.
That man?
Our father, Khan. He sealed up my personality in the deepest recesses of my consciousness. Through some inexplicable reason, that is when the present Fei was born.
When you said cowardice, what did you mean?
Why ask about him? You think you can do something?
It is rare to be able to talk a real... It is rare to be able to talk a real schizophrenic? Schizophrenia is not the same as the ID, and you should know this, because you are a doctor. As a scholar, I am extremely intrigued.
With friends like you, eh, Doctor? I like you, Citan, but he is insignificant. After all, he's just a failure. A coward like him does not deserve to be Fei's existence. A pathetic one who has always fled from reality. He never did one thing against me when I control him. A coward who refused to live. He should have been erased, but he continues to exist. Why won't he disappear? Damn it. It makes my skin crawl just being in the same body as him.
Let us change the subject. I would like to know how and why your personalities were split. Since you are the one in control, I would assume you would know the story. Normally, personalities do not split as they did with you.
Thanks, Doc.
Unless there was some sort of past trauma.
You want me to talk about my memories? Don't misunderstand. I haven't given you the right to question me. Just because I'm held down by this machine, don't push your luck. If I really wanted to, I could break the restraints and crush you. Don't you forget it.
Then why not do it?
Because you can't.
Shall I tell you why? You do not have complete control over Fei, do you? Your control over him is incomplete. To break those bonds would require a tremendous amount of mental energy. Having used up your energy, Fei would return again. Basically, you would have to leave the stage. Obviously, the day you would be able to return is indeterminate, hence you will not do it. Am I mistaken?
So, you know me too well. I don't have complete...
What is wrong, Id?
You forced me on stage. He's waking. Under normal circumstances, I would have been able to hold on. But I can't. This is all that woman's fault. Her existence makes Fei resistant.
You mean Elly?
That woman, the same, everyone, must eliminate.
I do not understand. I do not understand, Id.
You don't need to understand. But when the time comes, just take it as it comes. Reality and death. I'll eventually get to you. Be seeing you.
The emotional portion of Fei's present personality was sealed up by his father through some method. And now, with the cleared foundation of Id's personality, in computer terms, it is like constructing a mock personality on top of the compatible portion of the OS. That is the reason Fei has no memory of his past. Those 10 or so years of memories are under the supervision of Id. As long as Id does not willingly hand over the memories, there is no way for Fei to know, since he did not even exist before the time Id was sealed up. The present Fei's personality is an underdeveloped one, which was built upon within the 3 years of living in Lahan, studying and acquiring other people's reactions. Hence, he does not know how to fully cope with sudden or emotional situations.
I mean, who does, though?
Elly, You are the one who has spent the most time with Fei, so I would assume you would understand this. Were there no times when he would be psychologically unstable?
I mean, who is, really?
For example, he would have been manically depressive and then have sudden fits of rage. Yes.
Then his present personality is but only a temporary one?
That is not what I'm saying. The present Fei is one single personality. It is just that structure-wise, his personality was constructed on top of Id's, hence placing Fei at a lower hierarchy. That is why when Id is active, Fei has no recollection of it.
Then that means he might eventually be overtaken by Id?
Yes, if it were only Id and Fei, but that does not seem to be the case. Id only manifests what Fei's mental energy is in a weakened state. It is a mystery in itself that the lower level personality of Fei has any control over the upper level personality of Id. It is obvious that there exists a third personality. Id calls this existence the coward. In my observations, this coward may be the fundamental personality of Fei. In other words, Id's manifestation is not controlled by Fei, but is controlled by the personality known as the coward.
Then that means what?
At the same time Id resents the coward, he also obviously fears it. From a certain point of view, this coward is the one assisting in keeping the present Fei in control. I do not know the reason why this third personality, Fei's fundamental personality does not come out. If this one awakens, it will become one with Id. In other words, there is a possibility that the complete original personality may be restored.
Is that for sure?
He just said it was a possibility.
Probably, but I do not know how to awaken it. Before I had the opportunity, it disappeared and he had been like that since. Basically, as long as nothing happens to Fei, that would challenge his existence. Fei can be himself, but his surroundings do not allow him that opportunity. It would be best for him to live in a place that is peaceful.
That is Lacon, no, the Dark One, Grof's second advent, who's talking. We must restrain and seal him up, otherwise we don't know what may occur.
Cease this at once. May we at least wait for Wiseman to return before we make any resolutions?
Although a tactician, why do you place so much importance on him? I have been silent all this time since Khan's death, since he was directly recruited by the Queen. However, I question why you would use such a person whose principles lack any understanding of sacrifice.
Well, that is...
You must look at reality, the existence of that power.
Hold on. What's this Grof's second advent?
The day of the collapse was brought upon by Grof's manipulation of Diabolos into destroying the world. And that power within Id is far too similar to Grof's. We cannot allow such a hazard to be set free. We ought to immediately freeze him in carbonite, otherwise expect the worst at any moment.
No, but isn't the present Fei the real Fei? If that's the case, then why?
But he is still far too dangerous, think about it. He single-handedly annihilated the Solaris capital. We can't set him free.
Not only that, in the past there were countless other cities that were destroyed by Id. I don't know their intentions, but Grof and Krellian were always involved somehow. And one of those incidents was Elru. It was Dominia's homeland. Solaris' purging of the rebellion city of Elru was done through the use of it to test his capabilities. And as a result, not only was Elru taken down, all the Solaris units present were wiped out.
He's responsible for the Iggs and our...
So, he was the one who killed my subordinates in the sewers.
What's wrong with you all? Aren't we supposed to be his friends?
It appears everyone else is in agreement. The risks are just too great.
Citan? No! That is terrible!
It's decided then. He will be scheduled for carbon freezing tomorrow.
I heard about it from Doc. Who would have ever thought within me lies another me?
But
You're the same Fei I've always known. You returned to your old self. Please don't be obsessed with it.
They say I'm the second advent of Groff.
Do you really think an iron cage is going to hold Id if he comes out?
The one who destroyed all this world. It seems Groff used to be a land dweller named Lacan.
They're not thinking about what they're saying. They're just confused by your powers.
Groff called me the one who would destroy God. In a way, I can understand what he meant now. Though my id power isn't good enough, if it has the same quality as Groff's.
Let's escape. If Groff or the war brings out Id, let's go to a place where no wars exist.
If you did that, you'd be...
That's all right. I don't have a place to go back to either.
Thanks, Elly, but no. Even if I left the battlefield, there's no guarantee that it'll never appear again. Besides, I tried to kill you. You're still okay with that?
Then you could have killed me if you really wanted to, right? The other you, its power, is nothing like that. But you still didn't go through with it. You knew when it was enough. Isn't that because your will was in effect? If you're to be controlled by Id, and all those around you became your enemies, I'd still be by your side. Because I know it's lonely to be by yourself. I'll open it now. Let's go, Fei.
Elly.
I thought it was about time for you to come. Who's talking? Oh, of course. It's no use trying to stop me. Even if it is you, if you get in my way, I have no choice but to...
That is no way for a lady to speak.
Fuck you, Citan. Go fuck yourself.
I just came here to see you off. I refueled Veltal. We are ready to go any time.
Citan.
But, Elly, you cannot use your gear while it is under repairs.
What? Then, what am I...
You know that Omni gear? What if you borrow it?
No way. I can't take Shabbat's property without permission.
They were gonna seal you in carbonite.
Elly is the only person appropriate for that gear. Nobody else can operate it.
No. Never. I won't ride it, ever.
Elly? What's wrong?
I'm so scared. That's why I'll never want to do it.
This is a problem?
How about if I ride with you?
Everyone. Sorry, Fei. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No. Thanks, everyone.
Now, I know you hate to leave, but we should get going before dawn. I did some work on the radar, so it should work fine. They have left.
Fei, where?
They went far away.
I go.
Kane, making a ridiculous setup with Yuga. He certainly has his deficiencies compared to our digitized existence, which permits us to use a higher level of logical thinking. He is restricted by his human form. Regardless, with just one machine, he annihilated Entrononk. His powers must not be underestimated. We're already short of time. The key. Use the key. Even you are beginning to feel the pressure. Krelian? What is Kane's situation?
The usual life extension treatment. He'll hold out for a little longer.
Does that mean we may not make it in time?
I wouldn't know. You spoke of using the key. Can you be sure he can be eliminated?
That we do not know. You know who he is. If he is the contact, there is a possibility he may not transmigrate. It's an organism composed of multiple generations. It's a matter of probability. That does not mean we can just remain idle.
You can't do anything else but remain idle. You're trapped in a computer.
Yes, at this rate we are bound to make the same mistake, but we can't fail a second time.
Well, don't worry. I've sent Ramsus to deal with him.
What can a failure like him do? He couldn't even defend Entranonk. What can you expect from trash like him?
Even if he has the Anima relic.
The relic?
The relic we recovered before has been aligned with his gear. There shouldn't be any problems now. He should be able to use his full power.
You're going to take the task yourself? Although he transmigrated, wasn't he one of you? I don't understand you.
I've thrown away all feelings of human emotion. All I need is her.
But isn't that also an emotion?
Of course.
Is that a blunder?
You are irritating. Do you wish to cease your existence?
Fine. We shall leave it at that.
Elhaim? Yes, this is the place I want you to bring her here. She is an important woman to me.
Don't be ridiculous. Why do I have to listen to you? If you need her, go get her yourself.
You're quite right, but can you say the same thing after looking at this?
This is...
Your gear and the Anima relic have been aligned. This is the Omni gear. Now, she is with Fei now.
What?
Losing those battles against Fei again and again. I believe it's because the difference in the performance of the gears. I think you'll be able to use 100% of its abilities. So how about it? However, if you still fail with this, you are truly trash. Ramsus, will you go?
Kor, are you going?
Yes, I must get rid of him with my own hands.
Be careful. I believe in you, no matter what others say.
Fei, what a loathsome name. I worked my way up on my own, but he ruined it again. That signal, it's him! I'm not trash. I'm not worthless. What kind of gear is that?
Omni gear! And according to the readings, it's clearly different from the one Bart's using, or the one in Shavat. You think it's the perfect gear?
Perfect gear?
Remember what Citan said? He said that the Omni gears are controlled by mental waves. The power, the potential varies depending on the rate of synchronism. The numbers indicate complete synchronization.
Slow, too slow!
They're catching up with us!
Your performance is sad. I knew you'd be there.
Ramsus?
Turn Lieutenant Elhaim over to me, Fei.
What? Why do we have to turn Elly over to you?
Oh, I get it. It's Krellian's idea, isn't it? I don't think so. You can't expect me to comply. I can take her by force if you wish. But then, don't ever expect to be able to hold her in your arms ever again.
Fei!
Don't worry. I'll protect you. Impressive words. Fei, I intend to take everything away from you. This is your final warning. Hand over Lieutenant Elheim now! I refuse to! Are you sure you want to refuse me? It'll be too late for you to change your mind later. Stop your stupid boasting! Well then, I'll have to show you if I'm boasting or not. So be it. No holding back, and no holds barred. Come on, come on! What poor form! What's wrong, Fei? In the presence of my vendetta, your Veltal is but only an infant. Incredible! This undeniable difference in power! Mia, are you watching this? At this rate, and with this power, I can defeat him!
Ramsus, listen! I surrender! So please stop attacking us this instant!
What are you saying? If you do that...
It's me he wants! I can't drag you into danger just over me. Stop attacking, Ramsus! If I'm what you want, then just take me.
Win! I can win. I'm not the worthless one. Ramsus, can't you hear us?
He's lost himself in the overwhelming power of that gear of his. Hey, we better run.
It's over for you, Fei Fong Wong. I'm not the worthless one. Huh? I've even taken out the lieutenant too. Damn, I forgot my orders. Oh well, to hell with Corellian's orders. Damn, the bleeding won't stop. If things don't change, at this rate, Elly's not gonna make it. Elly. Elly, hang in there. Elly, I'll save you. I promise. Elly.
What a great game. Oh, man. Well, thank you everyone for watching my Let's Play of Xenogears. And wait a minute. There's more? What? There can't be more. They already put so much work and budget and time into this game. Making more with just a single release would just be pushing themselves. It would be extremely rushed and unfinished feeling, and okay, yeah, we're moving on to disc 2.